replacing the other disc cost me about £200, right?
Yeah.
And getting the graphics card, when that cost something, cost me about £550. So if I had to pay another £200 to get the new disc, right, that'd be up to like £750. I'm already like halfway to what I. No, I'm not even halfway. I'm like 2/3 to what would the cost of a new PC. And
wait, that doesn't make any sense because you already spent most of that money.
yeah, I know, but I'm gonna take the graphics card out and put it in my new PC.
Oh, well, yeah. If you're just gonna take it, I mean, yeah. If you're just gonna take that out and the new hard drive out, then yeah.
Like after that point, I'm like, well, if I have to replace the C disc, I'm probably just gonna get a new PC, put the 2 hard drives that I already just bought into it, and the graphics card.
I mean, if you just replace the what are you like buying a new one of at that point? Like,
New motherboard, because my motherboard is 7 years old, my RAM is 7 years old.
I mean, motherboard, CPU, and RAM.
Yeah. I know I can get one of those packages as well. I mean, I have to think about it. It's kind of a new thing. I wasn't expecting to have to do this for like a whole extra year, because I was going to save up my wages.
Yeah, from the military.
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing. In the military, like, all my weeks of training would fully cover the cost of getting a new PC, and then I would have extra left over, so...
Training.
I put the amount of money into the stocks that I would get from wages from the army for the first year, so...
Wait, didn't you only put in, like, £1,000? How much do they pay you?
I put in 1,500, I think. Remember, it's a reserve job.
Oh, that's like nothing.
Yeah.
It's like no money at all.
Yeah.
It's like you're wearing nothing at all.
It's a lot of extra work for no pay. I mean, you really do it for the references, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
Like, people just say, oh, you were in the army, you must be really smart. And I'm like, yeah. I ain't no dumb.
You must have a giant penis. Yeah, I do. How'd you know? Narrator, he did not.
Okay, now let's go to the fat guy's face. Baldy McBalderson. Howling cock.
Don't make fun of him for being bald. He's trying his best.
He was trying his best. How come he's dead?
Oh my, that's keyword is trying. I didn't say he did his best.
Excuse me, Mr. Professor. I used to be a nuclear safety inspector for 10 years, so I think I know a little bit more about how a nuclear power plant works than you do. Okay, why don't you come up here and show us? Oh my god, he caused the meltdown. In there, guys. Thanks, home. I'm becoming like Matt from Two Best Friends Play. Like I can do is quote Simpsons. My brain is ruined.
At least you're not racist.
Oh, Matt's not racist.
Yeah, Pat is.
I don't think Pat's racist either.
Can't do that.
Willie's racist. Willie
like
hates
how the
slaves.
black
He
one-
said so himself.
Yeah, he thinks they're cringe.
Willie's like, I like him, but at the same time, he seems like the kind of guy who, like, in the right circumstances, would believe Sigma males are a real thing.
You say in the right circumstances, implying he doesn't already believe that.
Yeah, like he likes like tough badass like tsundere type people.
No, tsundere is when it's a high school girl who's like, I don't like you, but she really
Willie's
does
a
like
high school
you.
girl.
No, then he'd know right from left.
The required preparations have been set. Are you ready to perform the ritual that will extract Kan's energy? And joining us is not a critical component, but I believe you would facilitate our focus. We'd also like you to do the honor of executing the final rite. After extracting his energy, extracting, we'll only have a short time in which to use it to permanently destroy this land. Okay, hopefully maybe I can stop them. Let's begin. I will signal for the ritual of fallowing to commence.
I will sigma for the ritual following.
The disfavored lieutenant clears his throat and edges away from the cliff. I'll just take a step back for this one. He taps the staff once, twice, thrice to the ground. Let the land hear our cries. He continues as earth shakers gather, slowly chanting around him. Let the land shudder and tremble. Let the land swallow Cain's legacy and choke on the power forevermore. Archon of stone, we gathered beseech you. We who believe, let us now fallow this land as it is fit for your grave dirt. I think I'm getting too into this voicing thing.
I think it's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, they're gonna pull the crystal out of that, like, Steven Universe character.
Yeah.
I don't know what Steven Universe is about. It's only have, like, rock people and, like, a gay guy who wears sandals. Sir! Why was your laugh so delayed?
That summary was extremely funny. I don't know, I've never watched it. I just know there's rock people and a gay guy who wears sandals.
I think I once described Steven Universe as the main character seems like someone who believes getting their money taken at school makes them the main protagonist of the school.
What does that even mean?
It means you're inside a slice of life anime, bro. Oh, you may be bullied now, but soon there'll be a harem for you.
This, what are you? I don't know what you're talking about.
Talking about anime.
This sounds like you're talking about Wooly.
Yeah, I guess so, really. Sir,
Not
the
knowing
Scarlet
right from
Course are
left
upon
just
us.
makes you quirky.
They've breached the perimeter. Oh, for Graven's glory. Oh no, that
Not
was what he
knowing
said.
right from...
Graven's glory? That's a terrible sentence. Radix scrubs a hand down his visor, sweat beads in the gaps of his armor. Rouse the guild and defend the compound. Do not allow the Scarlet Course to interrupt the ritual, no matter the cost. The disfavored officer unsheathes his sword with gusto, clanking heavily as he stumps forward. Me and my shields are on it. With a respectful nod, he rushes past you, eager for battle, already shouting for his soldiers. Fatebinder, we need you as well. If the course defeats us here, the disfavored odds in the swirl are all but doomed. Do not let them halt the ritual. Okay.
You should let them halt the ritual. It'd be funny.
I don't care. Do not let them shatter the Azalith loads. If they dislodge one of the focal staves, it's imperatively re-embedded into the load, else the charge and thus the entire ritual could become unstable.
Good.
I don't really know what that means, because, like, unstable would imply, like, a big explosion or something, but, like...
Oh no, it'll ruin the land forever. Isn't that what we're trying to do? Yeah.
I ain't gonna do nothing. Alright, everyone run. I like how I bought Kills in Shadow. I was like, oh, I should bring her for this area. And then all she gets to see is me, like, butchering everything they offer.
Yeah, all the babies, because you're a baby.
Oh my god, how come all of you Shakers are dead already? You guys suck. I have to do everything. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. Fatebinder, you cannot let the course halt the ritual. We've already siphoned too much telluric energy from the cairn. If the geo-blah-blah-blah of the Azalith load becomes disarrayed, the resulting backlash could kill Cairn, and with him, our ability to ever blight this realm. Oh, really?
Oh yeah, that sounds... That'd be funny if that happened, wouldn't it?
I don't care. I'm not realigning any of your shit. Do it yourself.
Hey.
Go fuck yourself.
Fatebinder, I don't care. You know, Fatebinder, we need your help to kill all these people. Like, it's really important. Mikey.
We'll have to hit harder than that. Ah! Ow! Stop hitting me. Fortunately, the chorus didn't put up much of a fight. Do I have to realign this road? I don't care. We embed the Earthshaker focal staff into the charged central Azalith load.
No.
Okay.
I don't think I will. Well,
Do I have to? I don't care. I'm just gonna wait out. I'm gonna see what happens if I just wait. So, how's your day been?
that's been good. It's been good.
Oh, okay, cool.
I got it.
Keep charging Yazala floats. Don't stop even if they attack you. Fine, I'll realign the node because I don't seem like I have a choice. You know what, I am gonna check. Let's see, what is this quest called? Securing the sea. Let's see. Let ritual fail. Can I do it? Oops. Oh, I can't stop it. That's a shame.
It's dead.
I'm gonna do the rebel line next time. I think that would be more fun.
You mean because you don't like genocide?
I don't like genocide. And these Dishonor guys are kind of cucks.
Is this
They're always making me do all their work. Like, they have every advantage. They're not like the rebels where it's like, oh, we need your help. And I'm like, you know what? You probably do need my help because you're rebels.
The disfavor just
You guys just suck at your jobs. All you do is talk about how disciplined you are, and you constantly need my help to defeat a rabble of peasants.
The disfavor just jerk off about how smart and great they think they are.
By the way, can you help me? We shit our pants again.
Fate Binder, I need you to wipe my ass. It's really stinky.
Ew.
Graven Ash, this isn't what I'm paid for.
You're not that old.
I mean, you are, but you're immortal. Because you're an Archon. Archon.
Oh no, of course. Something about that. How come I win every battle for you? Like, all I'm doing is wiping out the course for you, and you're constantly, like, incapable of stopping them.
And they're also complaining, like, oh, you didn't murder that baby!
Yeah, they're mad that I found a more reasonable way to do things, because they themselves didn't think
you
of it.
murder that baby, Fate Binder?
Let's go! Bond yourself to these nuts. Like, at first it's like, yeah, I'll help the dude there, but they seem like, at least they're sort of like, you know, disciplined. They're not good.
The problem is, you would think the disfavored or the less war-criming ones would be more disciplined and honorable, but then you realize that they're also, like, weird SS losers who believe in blood purity and shit.
Yeah, and it is, you know what, it's not even just that. You know what else the other thing is?
What?
They're all like, oh, blood purity was superior, and like, oh, we don't do like the rabble
But
stuff.
then they suck!
But then they suck. You're like, worse. Like, much worse.
At least the chorus can do things.
The chorus is stopping you right now.
Your days end here.
The Scarlet Chorus can never defeat our bloodline purity. Oh
like,
no, they're
apparently
defeating
they
our
can.
bloodline purity.
Help!
Fate Binder, help! Help! Graven Ash needs you to wipe his graven ass.
Hate you.
That's what's happening, though.
Right.
Do you want me
I
to
got
pick
it.
up fucking groceries for you as well? Yes, Fate Binder, I would appreciate that.
I was fucking joking.
Thanks for the groceries.
Groceries. The
Grocery.
Western Azalith Shard. Where the fuck is that? Is it this one? Yeah. It's fixed. They fixed your stupid ritual. No, that's the worst part. They're supposed to be like disciplined elite troops, right? But they need to completely shatter a land of all of its food and starve the enemy to death because they're not smart enough to beat the Scarlet Chorus.
Yeah, it's like you can't beat the Scarlet Chorus in open warfare. Aren't they supposed to be like the deceptive ones?
Like you can't meet them on the field. At least
all
I have
of your-
more power. Fuck all of you.
At least I'm powerful.
I bet I could wipe out the disfavored camp if I wanted to.
Probably.
With the Archon of Stone's last shuddering breath, the Earthshakers expel the whole of his life force, mixed with his arcane energy, now warped and twisted and thrust deep into the heart of the realm. A poisonous strike to forever end the land. Deep. The edict breaks with an audible clap, and your stomach lurches from a sense of sudden weightlessness combined with an acrid tang in the back of your throat, an aftertaste of the rot now infusing the land. It's done! The edict is no more, and we didn't blow up all of Taratus in the process. Lucky us. Can feel. Stonelands are dying. Smells of rat. Like old rot. Like old blood. The fall of the Archon and the death knell of the chorus. This is a rare day, and I am honored to stand at the center of it for the glory of Ash.
We have ruined this place.
Wait.
I'm
Conquered
so proud
territory
of
and made it worse. I am gonna complain to the. I'm gonna complain to the Archon.
Engraven Ash is gonna be like, what are you, a baby? You care about civilians?
Yeah. A word, Fatebinder. I wondered if you might entertain a quick question. Go ahead. Wonderful. He dips his quill and starts writing on a sheet of vellum, focusing on you all the while. You've broken a number of Kairos' edicts at this point, which is not a claim that many could make. How do you feel about what you've accomplished? Spare me no detail, please. This is for posterity. Anything that strikes you about the experience is invaluable to the Chronicle. I guess I've ruined a realm to save the tears in a strange way. It's a necessary cost, but I hate it.
I mean, it's not really. Nothing about this was necessary.
Necessary, yes. Perhaps others will be slow to understand. But that's why folks like me make records of heroes like you. One last question for now. How do you feel? Physically and mentally, I mean. I ask because there's very little precedent on the matter, and you could define the symptoms and reactions for, well, for history as a whole. An arcane feat on this scale doesn't happen every day. Haunted, the things I've accomplished are not the province of mortals. That's no small concern. If breaking these edicts is impacting your sanity or willpower, I would question how far you want to pursue this goal. He pauses to regard you and grin. Admittedly, such concerns never stopped me in the past. I would tell you stories about some of the things I've read, except that I've worked very hard to forget them. I think I have what I need for now. Future readers of the Chronicle, thank you for your time and introspection. You're welcome. I guess. Fatebinder, you couldn't have been more instrumental to our cause. We were able to successfully extract Cairn's energy and blight the land for the next millennia to come. Suffice to say, the General will be pleased.
Why?
I guess
Isn't
so.
this the opposite of what taking over places is supposed to be about?
The Scarlet Chorus will know the price of fighting us when their bellies are empty and they find themselves too weak to stand. I wonder how many gangs will turn cannibal. His tone is shrewd and asserting when he next speaks. Assessing. And it would appear you've personally benefited from breaking the Edict of Stone, though to what end I cannot even fathom. I dare say our time together has proven somewhat symbiotic, if not wholly beneficial to you, Fatebinder. He taps his heel against a crumbling rock in thought. Cairn is now deceased, though yet remains a tinge of power within him to be harvested. Should you have use for it, consider it a sign of my favourable appraisal. Could this be a generous gesture from the Iron Core himself? Must have taken some resolve not to drain every last drop, Commander. Yes, and I'm sure as you're aware, resolve is not an area in which I am lacking. I'll take a piece of the Archon.
I'll eat him.
Yum 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 yum. Give me that shit. All for me.
Can't do that.
I just did.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. I just did. It gives me +2 resolve. Damn it, I drained him for that. I don't even want that.
Take your stupid gay resolve back.
Gay ass motherfucker. Why don't you eat my balls, Fate Binder? What? Well, let's go home, everyone. Go! Oh wait, no, it's fine. Wait, his law skill's 122. I could probably improve it. Nope. Too difficult. Sad. Very sad. I guess it's time to return to Graven Dummy.
Graven abortion-ator Ash.
Graven Abortionator Ash. Graven I vote Democrat Ash. Demon Rat Body. The trick is to make your politics a constantly moving target so no one can really guess what you are and they'll all debate and say that you'll probably agree with them, even though you probably don't. Well, I killed your entire family, Kills in Shadow. Does it make you feel?
I killed them all, not just the women, but the men and the children.
But the babies too, and it was really easy.
And Barrack was like, send me your champions!
And then he suplexed the baby, it was rad. Because I'm a Democrat voter and I like to suplex babies. No longer blasted by the endless winds of the Edict of Storms, the Blade Grave seems an endless expanse of twisted metal spines and rough-hewn cliffsides. Life is yet to return to Stalwart. You hear no birds and glimpse no rodents. But today you make out a billowing cloud of brightly shimmering movement, a few hundred feet away, but moving down the ravine towards you. What does it look like? For a moment you think it's some kind of massive bane, a huge creature of roiling arcane malice, but you realize it's not a single entity. You recall the chrysalis, winged insects that travel in swarm. Oh great. The chrysalis are pests known to burrow into trees, ships, and homes to lay their eggs. Consider the massive deforestation of Stalwart by the Edict of Storms. One wonders what the swarm has been eating. Yeah, we're just gonna hide from that shit.
We're just not gonna deal with that. That sounds like a fucking bad time.
That sounds like it sucks. Well, Mr. Graven Ash, I did your work for you again for like the 4th time.
Graven Ash, I have once again done everything for you. You lazy fuck.
Why do I get the sense that the voices in the rat would have appreciated me more?
I got it.
Actually, to be honest, Graven Ash does appreciate me, but he just disregards me whenever I give him my honest opinion, so it's not really appreciating
He likes
me
that you
much.
do. Graven Ash likes that you do things for him.
Yeah. Like, if you respect my opinion, maybe you'll give it more heed when I offer you advice like blighting an entire region and then winning it and then it being useless is dumb and not the point of conquesting
Sorry,
it.
can't.
Not the point of a conquest.
Yes, Fatebinder, an interesting idea. I'm going to blight the land for 1,000 years.
What did I just say?
I wasn't listening.
Of course you would. I didn't ask for no lip.
I didn't ask for your opinion, Fatebinder. I just wanted to fuck with you. But you did ask for my opinion. A likely story, Fatebinder.
You literally just asked for my opinion. Like, if I had to pinpoint the word you used, it was like...
More like
can I have your
Gaybinder,
opinion?
am I right?
Oh. Fuck you too.
Everyone, let's all laugh at the Fatebinder.
I can kill you easily.
They thought I was listening to them.
Yes.
Isn't that funny?
I would like to see who could win, me or everyone in this disfavored camp, because I got like decent money on me.
Probably you.
The only problem is there's like 50 soldiers in like the main encampment, I think.
You could probably win that.
I bet they're really weak. Yeah, like there's a bunch of them out front, I think. Yeah, like look at these guys. I don't like I can beat all of those.
I think you probably could.
Fatebinder, I felt something indescribable pass through me just before your arrival. Emotions of great rage and pain, followed by a moment of lingering sorrow. I suspect that something has been lost, and Taratis herself strains at the absence. I understand that both of the spies jutting up from the ruin of Ezra are now under your control. It would seem that impossible feats are no mystery to the likes of you. Impressive for Tunon's minion. Do not allow yourself to be swept up by the esteem and glory of this achievement. Were you a soldier of mine, I would temper your pride with modesty. I'm pretty modest all the time.
He's literally just going like, I know you did everything, but don't let you think that makes you cool or anything.
What would you do with a spire? Why, is one of yours for sale? I would have Mason study the stonework and expand it into a mighty fortress, unassailable, wreathed by earthshakers, their powers augmented by the very presence of the ancient structure. That's not a bad idea, I'll steal that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll take that. Wait, no. You can't
Are you
just
alright,
take that
Archon? Don't concern yourself over me, Fatebinder. We have a war to fight. I need your focus honed on our objective. Well, the disfavored and Earthshakers were triumphant. The cairn is dead. The Archon of Stone, fallen. Ash turns his gaze out to the iron hearth, settling it on nothing. I thank you, Fatebinder. This was a long time coming. Cairn's betrayal was inexcusable, and a death sentence from a lawful hand is no more or less than he deserved. What's more, you are to be commended for resolving an edict of Kairos and putting down an Archon at once. You don't sound too pleased about this. I do not always find war pleasing, especially in these dark days, when it is thrust upon me, and former allies show their true colours, that they are noble and good. Ugh. At times I want nothing more than to see home again, but even home has its memories. I would never have called the Archon of Stone a friend. Cam was a difficult man to know, taciturn and removed, keeping to himself as often as not, but we had much in common. When you are an Archon, that is a quality you learn to cherish. I have my doubts about starving the Scarlet Chorus this way. Do you think the voices in the rat concerns himself over the ethics of his atrocities? Do you think he questions the fairness of it all when he displays the pelts of his victims as works of art?
I mean, are you saying that you're as... That's
not a
literally
good
like...
point.
You're basically just saying, if you're the same as him, then what does it matter?
Like, I agree they suck, but that doesn't excuse you.
Well,
This
I
is
mean,
war.
like...
I won't allow petty misgivings to stay my hand. I have no desire to become as twisted and deplorable as the voices, but I will use every weapon at my disposal to rid the world of him. Well,
That's not an argument.
I guess you can consider that an argument, even though it's not.
That's not an argument. You're literally just saying, I don't want to be bad, but I'm going to do it anyway.
So, what happens to the Scarlet Chorus from here? The crops grown, for our enemies have withered on the vine. By now, the Archon's forces are clutching their stomachs, tightening their belts as we starve them out. A fair reward for more than fair service to the Legion. I've got Ash's finery. Great, I guess. Ash nods with gratitude and hands you a heavy hammer wrapped in cloth. The Earthshakers and Forgebound conceived of this, and I can think of no wielder more deserving than you, Fatebinder. To be honest, I could go for Scorn because, like, I don't use these kinds of weapons. Fatebinder! Breathless, the officer snaps to attention. No time for pleasantries or ceremony. Your spire is under attack. The Scarlet Cross have ramped up their offensive. They mean to topple your stronghold, with you atop it if need be. I feared something like this might happen. An act of desperation from the voices in the rats. He's either too much of a coward to attack Ironhearth, or his forces are too weak. Either way, you'll need to answer the threat with blood. I'll be off at once.
I got it.
Ken was a singular being, a titanic man born of the womb of Taratus herself, to say some tell it. None still living can provide accountable to that birth. You bore witness to his demise. I ask that you indulge my scholar's curiosity. What path with you in the Archon of Stone in his final moments? The land sucks now.
The land was pissed on.
How does
by
one depict the death
Gravenasha.
throes of a nation? In the Edict of Stone, Kairos consigned Ken to his doom. But in their rituals, the Earthshakers spread that execution across the entire region, the life drained from the soil. One could verily feel the stone trying to leach my own life from me, as if eating stale bread when I already thirsted for a flagon. We marked this place, and it will never recover. I hate my job.
You did this. You did this.
I return to the Vendrian Spire. But first I need to go to the forge and make that weapon, because I need to go put it in the voices in that stupid face.
Which one?
Oh shit, you're right. Where's the Sunset Spire? It'll take me a day to get to the Mountain Spire regardless. Might as well save 15 minutes, you know? Yeah, no. Nice, more bars. Need you to make Scorn.
Corn.
Unless I'm mistaken, am I very rarely mistaken? I detect in your words remorse, Fatebinder Kadar. Empathy, though an admirable trait, is wasted on the undeserving. One profits from fretting over the fate of the seditious, no more than one profits from concerns for the pain suffered by the murderer consigned to a headsman's axe. Kairos has branded greater lands than Azure with the lingering effects of edicts. We celebrate such destruction no more than we celebrate a verdict of guilt. They are no more and no less than the currency by which we purchase order and peace. Thank you for your response and your continued service. I know you're trying to make me feel better, but it really doesn't.
Look, sometimes you just gotta ruin people's lives. This doesn't help me at all. Huh?
It sucks, bro.
I tried.
Okay, I'm probably gonna get put Verse back in the party for attacking the Scarlet Chorus because I think it'll be funny.
It'd be like,
At
hey,
your
Verse,
service,
wanna
Fate.
fight
What do you
the
need?
voices of cringe rat?
Point me in the right.
We'll wait. For short.
Let's see what falls.
It's making me cringe, Dutch. Your armor's already pretty good. But your weapons, on the other hand, I bet I can get you better weapons. Okay, Broken War is objectively better than a bronze dagger, so... yeah. And the bronze katana... the Oathbound dagger does way more armor penetration, so actually I wouldn't trade that. And these are worse. Yeah, I mean, I suppose the Earthbound Dagger, as being a masterwork, probably is, like, as good as it gets. Okay, I'm gonna make you hit a little harder so you stop complaining about not being able to pierce cloth.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
I know, I fucking know.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth. Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
Greatly increased weapon damage while dual wielding. Would that help you?
It's out of you.
Okay, how long till Scorn is complete?
How long until that damn thing can pierce cloth?
Time long? That doesn't tell me anything. What time is long and short? Short, long. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Let's just go beat up the voices in the rat. Voices of the Democrats.
Fatebinder, my name is Graven Ash. I need you to do everything for me, and then I'll call you a little bitch.
I'm not going to help you defend your spot.
I need you to do everything for me, then I'll call you a little bitch for thinking war crimes are bad.
Wait, you are gonna help me? Okay, that's fine. Greeting, Fatebinder. The Iron Guard salutes you with a clattering salute. Oh, it's Arrhenius. Our Oathbound scouts alerted us to a Chorus assault on your spire, and Lord Ash insisted we send aid at once. Well, it's about time. I've assembled it. The master sculpture rumbles, shaking the masonry of the spire, sending it off balance. Hey, no need for that. The orb in the center of the resonator spins with the push of unseen force. Where the structure once exuded warmth, it gives off a ferocious heat, singeing your face the longer you stare at it. A sound like music swarms in the air around the structure, painful and disharmonious to your ears. You probably know more about what's going on than I do, but... She plugs her wrist to block the discordant music on the spire. I hate this! Isn't there anything you can do to stop it? She pauses and cocks her head. The spire! It's stuffing you with power, really force-feeding it in, don't you feel that? The spire is fully awake. Long dormant currents of energy dance to your presence. Crouching to the ground to steady yourself, Arrhenius steadies low to the ground until the trembling subsides. Feels like something is shaking the spire. The Chorus can't pull off that sort of magic. What in Kara's name is going on? It seems to communicate in visions. Perhaps this is his way of saying it as something to tell me. I don't suppose this magical spire of yours has some warding magic, or something of that ilk. She points down to Chorus troops amassing below. Unshakable courage and superior training will only take us so far against that larger force. When I broke the Edict of Fire, I was flooded by an intuition of how it all works. I could try proclaiming it without Kairos' words. You would act the Overlord? We're under attack. This is hardly the time for blasphemy, wishful of otherwise. She shakes her head with a quiet mutter to Graven Ash. Do it! Shout and yell and pretend you're Kairos, and when we're done, we'll discuss a real plan. Yeah, pretend.
Okay.
The mystical hum of the spire pulses to the cadence of your heart. The ancient structure awaits your command. Still so much that doesn't make sense. Perhaps your allegiance to Graven Ash is shaping you in some fashion. You have established some sort of mystic link with the spire. I'm not an expert on magic, but I can't help but liken it to the General's mystic link to me and the warriors. Who's leading here? Am I enhancing it? Or is it enhancing me? Your mind drifts to bygone days, past events. A rush of memories you know as your own comes a surge of images, voices, pangs of joy, sadness, long forgotten or remembered by someone else. The heat of the burning library, radiating in our lungs and hearts. While it's a bit disconcerting that you occasionally exhale steam, the effect seems a harmless reminder. The clawing weight of the granite over your head, pressing slabs of gneiss against your chest, these memories of Can in your mind as the recipe of his undoing. Pinpricks of electricity spark beneath your eyeballs, and the slightest breath in fills your lungs with a rush of moist air. You move to brush rust and bronze dust from your skin, only to realize the sensation is a phantom itch in the blade grave. They say only the Overlord can create an edict. It has never been clear if the Overlord can destroy one, and when the edict is resolved, what becomes of the colossal quantities of mystic energy bound into it? The moment you uttered the question, I could see your attention wander off. Did this spire share anything? I'm clearly not the first person to mess with this device. You feel a presence standing adjacent to you in space, but centuries from you in time. For a moment, she seems aware of you, or perhaps you're remembering her speaking to someone standing in this very spot. She speaks to the spire, and the spire listens, echoing her words. And while she speaks with conviction, her words are not edicts. She lacks understanding, the conviction. Half a dozen figures swarm through your mind. All of them walked atop this ancient perch, and each discovered but a sliver of the spire's potential. What did the spire show you? There have been visitors here before, but none of them understood it as well as I did. I'm in awe of your capacity to speak with architecture, but how does this really help us? The air ripples with heat, and the spires hum, a low chanting of your name. echoes through your head. But why me? Is it my edicts? And with that, you hear your own voice echo in your mind. Kairos' edict of execution should be no more. Your mind flashes back to the assault on Ascension Hall, to the moment you fulfilled that wording. Sensations of searing heat and chilling cold course through your bodies. You live the weightless moment when the edict broke, the fateful instance when the Levy vanished, and the arcane currents of Kairos magic were set free. It was in this moment that the Spire's old sigil of awakening, long covered by its prior occupants, was set ablaze by this arcane tempest. The Spire knows the first moment it found you, and so now you know this too. But whether the meeting was by accident or design is unknown to both. What are you sensing? There was a flash of the assault on Ascension Hall and the resolution of the Edict of Execution. The arcane backlash of the broken edict seems the probable cause of our link. I don't pretend to understand what you're witnessing. I'm just thankful the voice in the rat is not the master of the Spire. I shudder to think what sort of advantage he would gain from this. If the Spires and the Tears are linked, how far could this connection go? As soon as your mind finishes the intent of your question, you lose sense of your feet. Your vision expands to the spires on the horizon. I reach out as far as I can. As you would command your arms to expand, you think outward, your mind feeling cognizant of the verticality of the spire. You follow the sensation down to the soil, and your sensation stretches underground, radiating through the Vendrian Wells Valley and branching out to the old walls that ring the mountains, and from there to the surrounding old walls and spires of the Tears. You issue a soft hum into the resonator, falling silent. Stretching your senses across the Tears to hear how far your voice can be felt. I have tongue-tied. The power of the edict swells inside you, yet your voice is but a whimper everywhere Kairos' edicts still hold sway. But where Kairos' edicts no longer churn, your voices echo with power. Should you will it, the Spire will resonate your voice across these lands, an edict of your own making. Oh shit.
Ligma.
I can't seem to reach where Kairos' edicts still churn, but otherwise, I think the Spire can reach out anywhere in the Tears. What can go wrong? As you touch the stone's structure, your sense of moment slows, and you feel the entirety of the Tears at your fingertips. The Spire stands ready to channel will. Oh fucking shit. Oh shit. I could do anything!
I can do anything! I'm so powerful! I could even say the N.
Oh Jesus Christ, I don't want to issue an edict of storms.
Issue an edict of no Scarlet Chorus.
Yeah, where's that edict? Okay, I'm just checking. I can only do... There seems to be 2 more, but I don't know how to get those. Oh well. Okay, it would be Empowering Bane. Edict of Stone would weaken Bane. Maybe an Edict of Storms will do you well. The Torrential Rain will generate a massive storm that covers huge areas of the world. The chaotic energy unleashed will cause random damage to strike your enemies during combat. That seems good. Wait, Act 2? Is there a 3rd act? I guess it's short. Unlimited power! I'm not gonna lie, this feels kind of rad.
It is pretty rad.
What's engraved in Ash's name? The Iron Marshal turns about, taking the view in all direction. But Kairos didn't give an edict to read, so how did... Having broken an edict, I seem to be able to recreate it, if in limited fashion. You did that? Her hand grasps for her chest. But only Kairos can cast an edict. I assure you that was my magic at work. Of course, I have no idea what they just walked into. The Iron Marshal smashes her gauntlets together with a quiet chuckle. Binder, let us strike now. Let us seize this moment and swing their panic into a rout. Hoisting her blade in her hand, Irenios moves towards the exit. Fatebinder, I will get this carnage started. Join me when you are ready, and we will deal with whatever rabble remains. I like the sound of that, and I like Irenios. Let's charge! Random lightning damage striking all my enemies sounds like fun. And, you know, heavy rain never hurt anyone. Except for the game. Fail. Oh my god! It's killing her! They're fucking running! Yeah, you better run, bitch. Death Knell. A gang of rain-soaked scarlet cores trails behind Death Knell, a mixture of awe and confusion resting upon their faces. What foul trick are you playing such that weather comes to your aid? I should thank you for separating the wheat from the chaff. The sight of seeing dozens struck dead by lightning made a good show to startle the dead weights. She points back behind her shoulder, leaving the bravest with the privilege of tearing off your limbs one at a time. She turns to her soldiers and lets out a primal howl, her warriors echoing the battle cry in dissonant tones. You've got space hopper level balls to challenge me after what you've just seen.
Space hopper level balls. What the fuck does that mean?
Got big balls like a space hopper. Fools, did you not hear me proclaim that edict? Either I cast that edict by myself, or I did with the Overlord's blessing. Think on that very carefully. Do not liken yourself to the Overlord. Your magic may have startled my weaker troops. Your magic is nothing my own blood chances could not affect. Isn't that right? She looks to one of her mages for a nod of approval, but is met instead with a blanched look of fear, mouth agape in terror. Enough talk! You'll be trampled and forgotten! Only the voices in the rap will remember your name.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Eat
I'm
this!
not here. Now I have to kill you.
This weapon!
Damn thing could not.
Time to change weapons.
This isn't working.
This weapon is useless.
Well, that was easy. Muffled laughter comes from under Irenios' great hum. That's right, you filthy peasants. Run for your lives. Tell the rat what you saw here. The course is running in every direction, scattered to the winds as it were. The few brave enough to stand their ground against your edict of storm are dead. The day is ours. Leave the clean-up to me and my brethren. You should take your rightful place, perched atop the spire. No better way to savor the victory than with a commanding view of your enemy fleeing. She is right. I should do that. What a bunch of dummies. I mean, what were they thinking? Idiots.
Didn't they know that I'm based and they're cringe?
When someone summons a galactic storm, you should leave.
I don't think it was a galactic storm. It was
It was
more of a
galactic
local
storm.
region storm.
You can't tell it
I
was
don't think-
galactic. I didn't zoom out far enough, so you couldn't prove it was limited. Shocked and demoralized by your display of power, and the ease with which you dispatch their leader, the Scarlet Corps fighters lose their nerve and scatter in defeat. The survivors carry with them fearful murmurs of the powerful Archon, Daniel, a being of enormous might, who can cast an edict with the same authority as the Overlord.
Oh no, it's the Archon. It's the all-powerful Archon, Daniel.
See, Tywin would sound intimidating. Daniel's not very intimidating.
Daniel's pretty intimidating.
He's just
like,
that guy
you're the
who like was not harmed by lions.
Yeah, like that's pretty epic.
That is true. Actually, that's kind of funny that I'll be playing Tywin next, and both figures who in their folklore are not harmable
Or
by
lion
lions.
theme.
Yeah.
I don't think Tywin has the ability to not be harmed by lions.
Have you seen him be harmed by lions? Exactly.
He
So shut
never
the
is
fuck
in the
up.
same room as a lion. That's not an
You
argument
haven't read
for
enough
him
of the
being.
books. I could not be lying. Confusion sets in across the realm. Amid the whispers and misinformation, one fact remains consistent. The Overlord's power has been challenged. Also, I called Tywin a biblical figure. I'm a fucking retard. You safely assume that such rumors are making their way back to Kairos. The high winds of your edict sweep the air, dashing debris against your spire. Torrential rain falls, hitting hard enough to bruise bare skin. Lightning strikes the ground, endangering anyone out in the open. It isn't long before the storm begins to wane, however, slowly falling from a gale to a light rainstorm, and after a few days, a simple breeze. Eventually the skies calm as your edict dissipates. See, I'm not such a bad guy. Releasing Vendrian's well. You gather a small council of your closest allies and plan your next step. From the safety of your spire, no sooner do you get started than Kaleo, Fatebinder of Tunon, pays a visit, bearing an important message.
Bro, did you just make an edict? That's fucking illegal.
I did, innit?
That's fucking illegal. Your edict license? No, I don't. Oh, you fucking
I
you
keep hearing
cheeky
about this
bastard.
little spire you've been calling your own. Nodding with a smirk, Fatebinder Kaleo peers over the edge of the tower. Now that you've slaughtered those who would take your lands, I think your claim is as official as it gets. What did I do to earn a visit from Fatebinder? You're not here to proclaim an edict against me, are you? A fair guess. I was expecting Tunon to hand me a scroll case with Kaos' seal on it. After what you just pulled, I would have wagered my last ring that Kaos would have cast a very selective edict against you. The Overlord has other plans in mind. No one's entirely sure what to make of you these days. They all say you spoke an Edict of Storms, not a proclamation of an Edict of Kairos, but your own edict, your own mystical storm. You're all no mere Fatebinder, of that much we can be certain. You proclaim and broken the Overlock's edicts perhaps one too many times? If I'd have known you could do this when I first met you, I'd maybe have tried in earnest to kill you. I hope for the sake of Taratus that the right person has inherited this gift. I mean, there were worse people.
I never even murdered any babies.
Yeah,
Like some people. No, wait, never mind. I did murder babies.
I had to.
so-
I had orders. I don't
That's
know
not
what
an
to
arch.
make of you, Fatebinder. The claiming and breaking the Overlord's magic, claiming these awful towers. It should come as no surprise that an edict is within your grasp, but I still find room for surprise. You're powerful in ways that gang bosses and mages aren't. You commanded this place to do your bidding, and unleash some kind of something incredible in the world. That isn't the work of a Fatebinder, it's the work of an Archon. Beast women will follow Alpha from here to ends of Tears lands and farther still, or Paw prowl deep into cold north, hunting armies of Kairos at Alpha's side. Together, Shadowhunter and Alpha slaughter whole of Prima's tribe. She shakes her head with a grin. I always knew you'd be a delightful bit of trouble, but I didn't think you had a touch of the Overlord's power in you. Why didn't you tell me?
I'm too base to tell people. I'm a Sigma male.
I'm still not sure this power's entirely my own, or what it really even means. It means you're strong, dummy! Stronger than any gang boss in the tiers, any officer in the Legion. Maybe stronger than, I don't know. Consider Kairos had a first edict, one of Storms I believe, and these weren't always long recitations to go with those early edicts. I would assure you, Kairos had to learn to walk before running, just like you. I could become more powerful? That's troubling. I was sure hoping you'd be at least informed of your talent as you are capable of invoking it. If you're careless, you could cause untold harm. I'm not really careless with it.
Oh, cool, untold harm, yeah!
Curious. Suppose you've no reason to play the fool. I say that, however, it is you who came into this power, knowing that you've drawn the attention of the Overlord, so, congratulations, I think. I come bearing orders directly from the Overlord. Kairos has decreed two things. First, the Overlord has demanded that one, and only one Archon is fit to rule the tiers. To that end, the Archons are to settle through death or dominance who is the one Archon fit to inherit the tiers.
We have
Have
to
the
settle this in a battle royale.
Have the Archons been informed of this? All save one. Kaleo flicks a hand forward and you reach up to catch a small brooch in the solid Kairos' insignia. Kairos has decreed you are the newest Archon. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Fatebinder Calio bows with an exaggerated flourish. So the other Archons are now of orders to control or destroy you, and the other way around. See? This is what I try to avoid. This is why I try to avoid getting Kairos' attention. What if we don't fight? Why not ignore this order? If you wish to loaf on your hindquarters, have at it. I doubt the other Archons will ignore it. Every Archon in the tiers has been given free reign to slay the others. None are protected by Kairos' peace. It's no longer a crime for Ash or Norat to kill you. Or the other way around. Kairos knows rightfully so that enmities new and old will drive the Archons to mutual destruction. The Overlord need only remove the pretense of... Wow, 230, you're gonna rev your bike? Fucking limp dick.
Wow, that man must have like a 1-inch cock.
Yeah. I guess that's why he's comfortable sitting on the bike for so long. The Overlord need only remove the pretense of peace and watch the ensuing violence. Would you have preferred another do-or-die edict? I have a close alliance with Graven Ash. This order complicates things, to say the least. Keep in mind, the order is that all must submit to one Archon or die. So you and Ash won't necessarily have to come to blows. I'm not entirely sure how you'll convince him to bow to you, but... So what does Tunon and Bled and Mark think of this? As per usual, Tunon has the emotional range of Pumice, but Bled and Mark seems almost giddy. I think the old Shadow's already putting names on his daggers. I was wondering if Bled and Mark would hear this order and promptly stab Tunon, but no. I've seen the Archon of Shadow is happy to serve Tunon. Makes sense. I've never known the old Shadow to crave that kind of power. You'll have to deal with them too. I fear greatly for how that will turn out. I imagine Tunon is too loyal to bow to you, and Bleed and Mark too proud to accept you as his better. There is no way this ends well for some of us. Thank you for the message. This will be all. I need to think. First step is deciding you won't bow to one or the other Archons. I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming struggle. Know that when you come for Bled and Mark and Tunon, I and the other Fatebinders won't be interfering. A question me and the other binders have been asking. Can you do this again? Nunavar believes in you. Another who shall remain nameless takes the more cynical stance that the Overlord has a hand, so for up your ass she could pop at your mouth. And you couldn't cast a second edict if you tried. Me? I think you have it in you. Or at least I like the idea of proclaiming an edict of yours someday.
I'm gonna proclaim the Edict of Daniel.
I'm certain I have it in me to cast another edict, but I don't really know if I want to play recklessly. That sounds remarkably wise. I think you can and should use this power to stop your foes, but as you grow in power, your edicts might remain longer. It'd be a shame to leave an arcane disaster that haunts us after the problem is solved. Considering the terrible damage you'll inflict if you screw up what you're doing, I can't blame you for being cautious.
Looks at the Azure. Yeah, that would suck, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be stupid, wouldn't it? When you roll Taradas, look me up. If you're successful, I know I'll be in the need of a new Archon to serve. I know I'm mostly sober, but just so we're clear, you did just issue an edict, right? First you cast an edict, then this full-on war of Archons. This whole chapter of the Chronicle it's like reading fiction. So Kairos has ordered the Archons to fight it out until only the strongest remain? I think we can now safely say that the Scarlet Core's philosophy has been vindicated. It's not untrue. A rumbling mutter stirs from under Barrack's helmet, devoid of cogent words. Arthur birthed on words of power like humans prima called Kairos. It's better mystic than Broodmother to kill in shadow, than Stonestalker's 100 blood, than Beastwoman Archon slaughtered by Mark of Shadows. Killed in Shadow knew Alpha was most powerful human in whole of Tears Land. Nose was not wrong. One last thing. Hesitating before she leaves, Calio taps the parchment she's been holding to her forehead with a self-depreciating scoff. All this talk of you becoming the second coming of the Overlord, and I almost forgot my duties. This is a court summon from Bled and Mark, Tunon's assassin. I suggest you read it carefully as part of your preparations. Your survival may depend on it. Good luck, Archon. Fatebinder. Archon! The great general has pulled his troop back to Iron Hearth. Soon we make our final push into the Stone Sea, and the heart of Scarlet Core's power. The voice in the rat is weak, and the path to cacophony is clear. The Archon is also aware of what happened at Vendrian's Well. I'm sure we'll want to discuss this matter in person. I'll consider the request. I wouldn't spend too long considering. You demonstrated incredible power, and this is the time for action. I'll send Ash a bird so he knows to expect you later. If not, by the way. Take care how you treat Graven Ash. You're no mere Fatebinder anymore. You'll meet with him as Archon to Archon, and such things are more complicated. Good luck. Well, I am very powerful.
You have a massive heart.
I could cast edicts anywhere I want. We'll only ask once. Kid, I take you aware of the Overlord's latest decree. If not, let me give it to you straight. Now's a bad time to be an Archon in the tiers, since most likely I'll be the one to cut you down. I thought I'd first explain. It's not my choice. But if it was, I would still choose to kill you. See you soon.
I don't have a say in the matter. If I did, I'd do the same thing, though.
Let's see. My dearest Mark, I must sincerely thank you for the forward warning. Please know that I have indeed taken your words to heart, and as such, return the following in reply. Certainly I would not expect you to follow me without first testing my mettle. If we must slay each other, so be it. I respect your prowess and will stand my ground if a duel is
No,
what
you
desire.
should be a dick. He doesn't respect people who are, like, who
true.
try to, like, be nice. You should just call him a fucking loser or something.
Does Kara's decree insist that we kill each other? Or merely that one should best the other? Mark, sorry, who are you again? Oh right, that creepy guy who stares at people from the shadows. If you want to say hello, just come talk to me already. I should thank Karas as the Overlord has finally unburdened me of the need to treat you like anything more than what you are. A sad little sociopath will soon be gasping for his last breath at the end of my weapon. Did your predilection for children... Did your predilection for children turn even the cast metal stomach of the chorus? I've often wondered what crime Tuner must have on you to keep him on such a short leash. Of course, short leashes are ideal if the servant lives only to lick his master's feet. Sharpen your blades, freak, I'm coming for you. Because let's face it, you can't come for me before you've ordered to, can you? Oh, I want to send it, but that's not what I would send. At the risk of depriving you of the thrill of a good ambush, I'd ask that we meet in person as peers, drawing blades openly, if that is what it has come to. On the reverse of this parchment, I've mapped for you a location in the wilderness where I'm going to stab you to death. Let's meet there. Shit, I got stuff to do. I think I'm gonna end it there, and then there'll be another playthrough because I don't want to like tie myself out doing it because I'm getting very excited.
You mean another stream?
Yeah.
Not another playthrough.
So yeah, stream session. I don't want to tie myself doing this stuff because things are getting very exciting.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. That was not what I was expecting. Like, I thought, oh, I'm gonna get power, and then I'll become the Archon at the end. No, I can cast fucking edicts. I'm like super big Chad. I guess everyone has things to say to me, so I'll do the companion talks first. Finishing the last pen strokes of a note, running about his left arm, Nancy looks up at you with a nod.
Not to steal your glorious day in the sun, but I must say, now all my notes on you are suddenly worth 10 times their weight in iron. My journals will melt the linens off the ladies, I tell you. What's that you say? Buxom, nubile lasses with an interested old man who know history. You need a definitive tractatus on the trials and tribulations of the Archon of the Tears? Ah, well, you're in luck. I think one can safely conclude that you have the Overlord's attention, and that of the Tears. Soon, all of Taratas. You realize, I trust, I hope, that nobody other than Kairos has ever cast an edict until you.
Are you sure history hasn't just edited or forgotten those who could have rivaled the Overlord?
Well, I have a hard time believing that someone would cast an edict and not have it noticed.
Well, maybe a rival casts an edict. Kawas kills the rival, takes credit.
Well, as of now, I've seen with my own eyes that the Overlord is not unique in this regard. And I suppose you're all the evidence I need to throw suspicion on the record. Now, if you are right, that implies the Overlord has no qualms silencing and murdering those who pose a threat. In your case, at least my written record of you might survive. See? I'm being optimistic.
Suppose she'll try and solve me in some fashion.
At the same time, if you really were a meaningful threat, you'd have already been the victim of an edict, or bled in Mark's daggers. So this has me rather curious. Just what does the Overlord wish to do with you?
Happen to know when Kairos first cast an edict?
Good question. In parts north, it's commonly held that Kairos' Edict of Dust was the first, but it was cast in the year 11. It was just the first edict to ripple across the whole of Tyranny. If you lived somewhere that used to have antelope, you probably think that's the first edict of the Overlord. But here, the answer is given to us by the Overlord's own sense of posterity. Year 0 of Kairos' calendar is said to correspond to the day Kairos went from warlord to wearer of many crowns. A victory won when the first Edict of Storms shocked both the Cloud Barons and the realm of Medrev to capitulate.
What kind of animal is an antelope?
Yes, or it was at least, until they were all wiped out by the Edict of Dust. Or that's as best we've pieced it together from the records. From what we've gathered from their skeletons, they were some sort of mute beast man that ran on 4 legs.
Disgusting.
Antelope are not like beast women. Antelope have hooves for fleeing. Beast women have claws for killing. Antelope don't eat meat, are sport easily, are large but helpless, lumber but lack reason, are prey. Silverback tribe hunted antelope extinct. Old Ink Mystic tells many strange, stupid tales. Things to know everything.
I suppose I'm more of an expert in living things, like birds, and can't quite confirm or deny what you're saying, but just forget I said anything.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. Let's
Indeed.
get going.
Once again, I find myself wishing the days and nights would slow down just a hair. Never enough hours to journal these dense days. Let us be on our way.
We do travel a lot. I mean, if we got a carriage, you could probably do it. The dog-furred beast woman snuffs and quivers, panting lightly at your approach, hunching low, long gangly fingers caressing the ground.
Alpha to kills in shadow smells good, like mountain dew. Makes beast woman blood stir, run hot. Makes beast woman want to hunt, bite, rot. Fate binder wants beast woman?
Have any good hunts?
Good, yep. And found pack of rot-smelling chorus in Apex lands. What?
Big snort.
Hail, mighty Archon.
Absolutes you with a nod, pounding a staff to the ground as she stands in attention.
Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos alone can issue an edict. And yet, here you are, proclaiming mastery of the lands just like the Overlord.
Perhaps there were others besides me and him, or her.
I should certainly hope not. Tyranny isn't large enough for Kairos, and it's certainly going to get very interesting if the two of you start waving your edicts to and fro.
If anyone has cast an edict other than Kairos in the last 431 years, I'm certain we would know. There would have been witnesses and evidence that outran Kairos' march west.
Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos alone can issue an edict. And yet, here you are, proclaiming mastery of the lands just like the Overlord.
Can replicate her powers when they're not just
You
like
say
the
that
Overlord.
now. Let's see if you still feel this way when the reality sinks in, and your mastery of this newfound power solidifies. The world now bows to your mere utterance. Each day you will grow stronger, while the world becomes weaker in comparison. Put another way, if I could do what you do, the world would be at the mercy of my depravity. Cursing the name of Ebb, Archon of fecund fluids.
Ew.
Let's hope your moral sextant isn't as crooked as my own. Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos alone can issue
Fortunate
an
you were sworn
If
to
watching
me.
you slowly descend into power-hungry your newfound power... What is it you
All
need?
my life, I've been able.
All my life, I have been repeating dialogue for some reason. Let's talk to
All
Barrick.
my life, I haven't been chosen to go on one mission.
Fail. I could scarcely believe it. You proclaimed an edict. You wield the power of the Overlord for a moment, but it was enough to turn the tide of battle in our favor, even if only momentarily. That simply doesn't happen. The Overlord's magic is unknowable as anything on Tyranus, as mysterious and I was about to say as unapproachable as the Spires, but you have cleanly dispelled that notion. It's gonna mean trouble. I mean, Cast doesn't exactly tolerate competition. No, indeed. I wouldn't want to stand in your place when the day of reckoning comes, but standing next to you might prove just as dangerous. What do you suggest I do? Hold fast to your loyalties in the Overlord's hierarchy. There's always the chance that Kairos will leave you alone, if fealty is true. I offer no guarantees. It is what I would do anyway. You must follow your own path. I like your
That's
advice.
what I would do, because I'm a cuck.
I appreciate his advice. And I do weigh it, unlike Graven Ash. You just trying to piss everyone off, or do you just do this for fun? I'm not judging either way, I'm just curious. I mean, casting an edict on Vengeance Well is a good way to shine a beacon on yourself. Or paint a target. Saved your skin, didn't I? Sure did, for now. Like I said, I'm not going to try prodding you or suggesting you make the wrong call. As someone who likes to stay discreet until she has the opening to strike a killing blow, I find your little public gesture of dominance, well, quaint, charming, in a dumb way. Well, I'm glad everyone approves in their own special ways. Tell you what, let's go to that forward. Let's see if the device has been completed for me. Oh, I've unlocked Cacophony. Let's see, what have I got to do? Graven Ash has still summoned you to meet with him at Iron Hearth. Oh, they've all regrouping at Iron Hearth to make a push into Cacophony. And then Tunon has summoned me to his court. Well, fortunately with the Spies, it's not too hard to go to either at any time. But I'm going to save that for another day so we don't get too tired doing this very cool ending.
What do you mean? There's another 50 hours of game left.
Oh no, I've been playing this for 20 years. Yep, and that's clocked in at about 1 hour and 12 minutes. It's pretty good progress.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy with this game overall. Like, I was thinking the ending was starting to flag on me a little bit, and then, oh, you think you're done? No. Now you're, like, super important, and I like it because it's, like, an amplification of what you've been doing, where it's like, well, now you're still doing, like, diplomacy and subterfuge and conquest and all that stuff, but you're doing it in a much more position of power where you are going to make the rules yourself. And I think that's actually really good because I was just starting to settle into that feeling. Because you know what? I was literally complaining about this, I think, a bit off screen and a bit on screen, where it's like, man, this part of the game is getting kind of lame where I have to, like, just follow what Graven Ash's orders are.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a position where, actually, I don't have to do anything. It's open season on Archons. And I like my odds, because I'm a player character. But yeah, it is kind of a case of like, oh, wait, so just as I'm about to say this game is a little bit constricting and I wish I had more control over what happens, now I really do have that kind of control. So it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to playing the next section. But for now, I'm going to call it quits. That was fun. We'll do another one. We've probably only got 1 or 2 parts left, tops.
Yeah.
But still, really good game. I'm already, like, mentally thinking I'm going to play this again, which is a good sign because there's only ever been a couple of games in my life where I've been like, I'm going to play this, like, multiple times. And fortunately, this is one of them. So it's definitely, it might not be in necessarily my top 5 favorite RPGs, but it probably is in the top 10.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Depending on how this arc goes specifically, like the Act 3 part, depending on how this goes, this will probably, like, determine whether or not this is, like, going in my top 10 RPGs that I like. But for now, we'll leave the questions of what I'm going to do with my newfound power for later.